The Secret Letters of Queen Elizabeth II. Part 1. The History Hidden Behind Silent Shelves. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. The streets of London are almost silent. Raindrops fall softly against centuries-old stone walls. And in the heart of the city stands Buckingham Palace, calm, majestic, almost untouched by time. But behind those grand walls are rooms that very few people are ever allowed to enter. Heavy steel doors, restricted access, ancient wooden cabinets. Inside them rest thousands of letters, handwritten notes, and royal documents. Some pages carry nothing more than the dust of history. Others bear the signature of a woman, the world recognized for nearly 70 years as the symbol of stability, duty, and the British crown, Queen Elizabeth II. But today's question isn't how many letters she wrote. The real question is, why were some of those letters kept away from the public for decades? Were they simply routine royal correspondence? Or did they quietly record moments that shaped not only Britain's future, but the course of world history? Today, we are not entering the world of rumors. We are following the trail of archived documents, official records, and verified historical evidence examined by historians, journalists, and researchers over many years. And by the end of this documentary, you may never look at history the same way again. Chapter 1. The Woman Who Witnessed History Change. The year was 1952. A young princess was on a royal tour in Africa. No one could have imagined that within a matter of hours, her entire life would change forever. King George VI had died. At just 25 years old, Elizabeth became Queen of the United Kingdom. It was a moment that changed far more than one family's destiny. It marked the beginning of one of the longest and most remarkable reigns in modern history. She witnessed the rebuilding of Europe after World War II. She lived through the Cold War. She saw humanity step onto the moon. She watched the Berlin Wall fall. She witnessed the collapse of the Soviet Union. And throughout her reign, she worked with more than 15 British prime ministers. Yet during all those decades, one royal tradition never changed. Every week, the Queen met privately with the Prime Minister. A meeting governed by one unwritten rule. What is said in this room stays in this room. No cameras, no audio recordings, no official transcripts. Even today, those conversations remain. Among the most private traditions of Britain's constitutional monarchy, was the Queen really above politics? This is where many misunderstandings begin. Some people believe Queen Elizabeth secretly controlled political decisions. The historical evidence tells a different story. Britain is a constitutional monarchy. The government is led by elected officials, not by the monarch. The Queen's constitutional role was not to govern, but to safeguard continuity, tradition, and constitutional stability. That does not mean her voice carried no weight. One of Britain's most respected constitutional scholars, Walter Bagehot, described the monarch's 3 constitutional rights: the right to be consulted, the right to encourage, and the right to warn. 3 simple principles, yet they reveal how quietly influential the monarchy could be. During the Queen's weekly meetings with prime ministers, ideas were exchanged. 0l. Concerns were discussed. Experience was shared. But almost none of those conversations became public. And that silence would eventually give birth to decades of speculation. The letters that raise questions. Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth II signed thousands of letters. Many were ceremonial. Many were diplomatic. Some were deeply personal. Others related to matters of state. This is where fact must be separated from fiction. The internet is filled with claims that the Queen's secret letters contained shocking hidden truths. There is no verified historical evidence supporting those claims. The documented reality is far more interesting. Some royal correspondence remained confidential because of archival rules, constitutional conventions, privacy protections, or official release schedules, not because it contained sensational secrets. So, which letters attracted worldwide attention? Why did one collection of correspondence become the center of one of Australia's greatest constitutional controversies? And how did private royal communication become the subject of legal battles decades later? That is where the Real story begins. To be continued in Part 2.